Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about something very similar in that almost all of us are very aware of this, but then also I feel like we do not draw the right conclusions when it comes to what we are supposed to do in terms of like these principles. So I'm just trying to reiterate what we know already, and then I hope I'll be able to make some conclusions that will help us down the line. So the first thing is that in regards of USMLE preparation, be it first step 1, 2, or 3, all of us almost learn the same way, especially in terms of resources. We use the same resources. We either watch videos, be it Boards and Beyonds or Patoma or Sketchy, and there are other videos like Kaplan videos. We watch them and we make notes. We do Anki cards. Most of the time, something that I preach is doing self-made Anki cards, but then we also do pre-made decks, and we solve a lot of questions, mostly from UWorld, but then also from other secondary question banks like Ambus and Kaplan and whatnot. But then, yes, we learn by solving a lot of questions and reading the explanations thereafter. And then we revise. We revise from the notes that we make. We revise our Anki cards. We also revise from the review books, other than first aid, but mostly first aid. And then we give a lot of self-assessment exams, be it UWorld self-assessment or NBMEs, and then we sort of like put milestones in our preparation, and then reach one milestone at a time until we go for the beast itself and then try to beat it. But then the problem with that notion is that if all of us are using the same resources, then why is it that we get different results? Some of us get the desired result that we want, and then others do not. So what is it that makes that difference? And the answer, my friend, is accountability. That, I think, is the major difference between high scorers and people who struggle to score good. And accountability has various components to it. Some of us seem to have nailed accountability in that we can put in work day in and day out, and then it works for us. And some of us struggle. So this is my attempt to talk about certain techniques that can help you stay focused and stay attentive and stay accountable to your preparation. And there are various aspects to it. Your mindset obviously is the most important one, and time management and managing a schedule and having the overall picture and having someone to talk to who can motivate you, or a group of friends who study together, or taking care of your focus itself, taking care of your concentration, and being focused on your goal. Where would you want to reach? Those kinds of things can play a role in you being accountable, which in turn plays an important role in whether or not you achieve your desired score. So today I'm only going to talk about two basic techniques that you can use to either increase your focus or stay accountable each day. And there are various other techniques, and I'll talk about them in subsequent videos, but then let's start with these two. The first one is Parkinsons Law, which basically says that the time you give to a task is the time it takes. What that means in terms of doing UWorld is start by doing a block of UWorld question, which is 40 questions, and you only give 1 hour because you do a timed and random mode. By doing that, you'd be practicing giving exams already, and that's a very good idea. So once you start with that, once you're done with your exam, now you have 40 questions to review, correct? So you'd only give 10 minutes to each question, because remember, the time you give is time it takes. And that is 40 times 10 is 400 minutes, and that's what you're going to do. If there comes a question which requires you to further delve into the topic, for example, there is a question on musculoskeletal physiology, you'd have to revise the contraction relaxation cycle of a skeletal muscle or a smooth muscle, then you just jot it down somewhere on a piece of paper saying that you'd come back to it, and you'd come back to it later. you'd not do it right now, because that way you'd break your time frame that you have given for the explanations, and that is not a very good idea. So once you're done with your 400 minutes, you've reviewed all your explanations, and you'll go back to the topics that you have accumulated, and then you'll go through them. And we'll talk about it more in subsequent videos. Let me know in the comments below if you struggle with doing the explanations, learning the explanations in time, and I can make a detailed video about how I dealt with learning explanations. At one point in time, I used to be able to do like 100 questions per day. That was not to begin with. Nobody, I think, can do that to begin with, but then you can sort of like get to that point. That's my point. So the other thing I want to talk about today is something called Pomodoro technique. So the point is that our attention is limited, and we are most attentive when we start a task, and we are also most attentive when we are about to end it. So if you increase the frequency of starting and ending a task, you're supposedly more involved in the topic, and that is what you want, involvement. So if you break the whole time into chunks of 25 minutes, for example, I already said that you are going to do 40 questions, 10 minutes each. But then if you break them into either chunks of 25 minutes or chunks of 30 minutes, then you can do 3 questions in 130 minutes, and you can take a 5 minutes break and then do 3 questions in another chunk of 40 minutes. That way you'd be more attentive. And during a break, try to relax. Don't try to sit down and watch a video. Try to walk around, try to talk with your parents or your significant other or your friends, and that would make you feel more rejuvenated, and then you can get back to your work. So those are the 2 techniques I wanted to talk about today. But then there are various other techniques. Let me know in the comments below if you want to me to cover other techniques. Having said that, I want to end this video by coming back to the notion that no matter what techniques you use, it would not be applicable for all of you, and it would not be applicable for even like one of you all the time. So for example, Pomodoro technique might be very good for me this week, but next week I might get completely bored out of it, and then I would not want to do it anymore. So I'd want a lot of techniques in my toolbox so that I can play with them and sort of like keep myself enthusiastic and motivated during the preparation. And another thing that you should be absolutely looking forward to is having either a coach or a friend or someone who can like motivate you time and again. Not every day, maybe once a week or once a month, if you get to talk to them, and then if they can share with you some things. It does not have to be very profound and new things. Sometimes just the things that you know, you just need to hear. You just need to hear that your journey is a difficult one, and then not every day studying would be fun. There would be days when you would be very, very bored, and you'd still have to do the fair share of studying done. So I wish you very good luck in your preparation, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.